Hey guys, this is Not Lambs on Volk 101, and today I'm actually trying out something a little bit different. We're going to be doing a 2-camera thing, so I don't know if you can see the 1 camera because the other camera I'm using is a little old, so. But yeah, and we're going to be taking a look at Ancient Gears. This is a deck that I built a long time ago. I had a lot of passion for it, and with the new Ancient Gear Catapult Link monster, this guy right here, Ballista, not Catapult. This deck is really cool. I'm not playing a lot of the expensive cards. I'm not playing the, what's it called? The Infinitrack Anchor Drill. I'm not playing that. I'm not playing the level 10 Train that a lot of people are using. Instead, I'm using some other stuff. So let me guys know what you guys think about that down in the comments when we get into this. And with that said, I'm just going to kind of take over here and move the spells and traps off to the side and get right into it. So the first thing that we got going on is 3 Ancient Gear Wyvern. This card is honestly the best Ancient Gear monster just because it's able to search all the Ancient Gear spells and traps and all the monsters. It's literally the Stratos for the deck, and it's on normal or special. The only condition is you can't set for the rest of the turn. It also has one of those Ancient Gear effects where it's like your opponent can't activate stuff during the battle phase. I believe it's, is this one monster effects? Once per turn, your opponent's monsters can't activate. Yep, so. It does that one. That one's all monster effects. And then we have, whoa, I bumped this camera. 3 Ancient Gear Hunting Hound. This is the one that lets you fusion summon with cards in your hand. This is another really good card. It's honestly like, it's the card that a lot of people use instead of Ancient Gear Fusion just because this card does the same exact thing. I also want to, before we continue to go forward, just because I did it just now, if I bump the camera, it's because this camera is on the tripod I usually use for this camera, which is usually on the desk, so if I bump the camera a little bit, I'm sorry. Next up is the card that actually makes Ancient Gears, like, I would say this is the way that I am going to be playing Ancient Gears moving forward to make the Link monster, and that's Ancient Gear Gadget. This is a level 4 machine dupe target that not only can be machine duped into itself, but it can change the name of itself to any gadget monster. So you can machine dupe it into gold, silver, which is the other 2 gadgets we play in the deck. So you can then special summon another Ancient Gear from your hand. That's the main reason we're using this. I think it's really cool. Just because, and the name change effect doesn't really matter, but we can actually call out a monster spell or trap, and then this turn, if a monster I control attacks, my opponent's spell cards, trap cards, or whatever you declared can't be activated. So, and you can do that as many times. So if you machine dupe this, you can do all 3, which is really cool. Next up, we have one of the newer cards for Ancient Gears, which is Ancient Gear Frame. This is one of those cards that's able to be searched off of Ancient Gear Box, which is the next card we're going to be talking about. But Ancient Gear Frame, it has 1600, 500 defense, and it says you can discard 1 card to add 1 Ancient Gear Golem or spell or trap that specifically lists Ancient Gear Golem and its text from your deck to your hand, which is kind of cool because it searches Ancient Gear Fusion. And it says, if this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate spell or trap cards until the end of the damage step. If this face-up card in its owner's control leaves the field because of the opponent's card effect, you can special summon up to 3 Ancient Gear Golem and or Ancient Gear Ultimate Pounds from your hand, ignoring summoning conditions, which is kind of cute, but it's never going to happen. Next up, we have Ancient Gear Box. Ancient Gear Box is a card that's, if this card is added from the deck or graveyard to your hand, you can add 1 Earth Machine monster with 500 attack and or 500 defense from your deck to your hand. You can only use that effect of Ancient Gear Box once per turn, and only once. But he is another machine dupe target, which is kind of cool, so if we draw him, it's fine. Then we have the big Ancient Gears. We have Reactor Dragon, which is like the best one. If this card attacks at the end of the damage... Whoa, hey, whoa. My chair's like knocking the tripod. Yeah, but anyway, Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon is... basically at the end of the damage step, this card, if it attacked, this card is able to pop a card, and because your opponent can't activate spells or traps during the damage step, the big thing I remember doing with this is attacking with it and then popping a Solemn Strike, and they can't strike it because they can't activate it. It's still damage step. So really cool little card, level 9 unfortunately. But then we have 1 Ancient Gear Ultimate Pound and 2 Ancient Gear Golem. We mostly just play these because you kind of have to play the Ancient Gear Golems in the deck. Ultimate Pound is okay at 1. He's the one that lets you like discard a machine to attack again and again, while the golems themselves are just kind of big beat sticks that have piercing. And that's it for the Ancient Gear monsters. Then we have 2 gold and 2 silver. These guys are just there for getting more stuff on the board, specifically Ancient Gear Wyvern. And I'm going to be real honest, if I had 3 extra Anchor Drills, I probably would be playing them over these. So if you have the Anchor Drill, I definitely recommend it. Just play 3 Anchor Drill over this, because Anchor Drill can just special summon an Earth Machine from the hand in defense. And then play maybe like a 3rd box, 3rd frame, another spell card, whatever. That's it for the main deck monsters, by the way. So the gadgets are the last ones. Moving into the spells and traps, we have 3 Ancient Gear Catapult. I'm still unsure if this is the best card to be playing right now. Like not the best card, but the best number is 3. So, but anyways, Ancient Gear Catapult was one of those cards that came in the structure deck, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is exactly what the deck needed." So, I like it. I think it's fine. But yeah, Catapult is really cool, especially with its interaction between it and not Ancient Gear Town, just Gear Town. Speaking of Gear Town, Gear Town gets even better now with the Link Monster, because the Link Monster searches this, which is insane. We've never had a way to search this before, so being able to search Gear Town is nuts. Then we also have 2 Fortress. I think Fortress is good at 2. Some people say 3. This is another card you can pop with Catapult, because Catapult actually is able to pop 2 cards. You just have to wait a turn. But you banish it, pop another face-up card you control, and summon an Ancient Gear token. Actually, do you have to wait a turn to do that? Or can you do them... Yeah, you can do that in the same turn. Okay, I'm just dumb. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so Catapult is fantastic, just being able to pop stuff that you control. I've also thought about playing Foolish Burial Goods just to send Catapult to the graveyard to pop stuff. So if you like playing Goods, you can do that instead of some of the other stuff that I play. I also play 1 Ancient Gear Fusion. Like I said, this is more budget friendly, but like the 1 Ancient Gear Fusion is kind of rough. This is getting reprinted, because I do believe this is from Ancient Millennium. So this will be getting a reprint soon, hopefully as a secret rare, which is kind of cool. So we should be able to get more copies of that. But Ancient Gear Fusion, it says, fusion summon 1 Ancient Gear Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as materials. And if you use Ancient Gear Golem or Golem Ultimate Pound you control as material, you can also use monsters from your deck. So really cool little Ancient Gear card that allows you to do some pretty cool stuff. The last Ancient Gear card I play, I know Gear Town technically isn't an Ancient Gear card, but it's an Ancient Gear card. I also play 1 Ancient Gear Workshop to get stuff out of the graveyard. I like Ancient Gear Workshop. It's a nice little piece of recovery, so that's the main reason I play it. With those out of the way, I also play 3 Machine Dupe, because I want to see Machine Dupe. I know there's not a lot of Machine Dupe targets in the deck, but I want to see it, so I play it. 3 is definitely the number I go with. Then I also play 1 Monster Reborn. This is kind of an obvious card, just to get back like our big beat sticks and whatnot, and to make links. 1 Overload. I've thought about playing 2. I just wasn't able to find a second one, and I have no clue where a second one would be at this point. But yeah. So I'm also playing 2 Trade-In. I'm not super happy that I have to play 2 Trade-In. I just don't know what else to add in this specific build. Let me know what you guys say in the comments below. If you say stuff like Infinite Impermanence or like Hand Traps, it's like, that's obvious. I'm talking about like actual cards that like can help the deck continue to play. So let me know. 1 Terraforming. This is the Search Gear Town. I know there's a lot of ways to search Gear Town and get Gear Town. Like you can hard draw it, you can get it off the Link Monster now. But Terraforming is still really good, and Terraforming at 1 does hurt this deck a lot. And then my personal tech choice is Tribute Burial. This allows you to knock cards out of your opponent's graveyard, and also your graveyard to Tribute Summon. I've thought about cutting this, but I've also never had a reason to take it out. Like whenever it comes to like cards I remove, there's other cards I'd rather take out, such as Trade-In. So yeah, so this card always ends up staying in the deck, just because there's nothing I want to remove for it, because there's always worse cards than it inside my deck. And with that, we are able to now move into the extra deck. That is it for the main. So moving along into the extra, we have the, I'm going to start with the Ancient Gear Link Monster because he's new. Let me just zoom in a touch on this one. So Ancient Gear Ballista is the new Link 2 for Ancient Gears. He has a downward pointing arrow and a sideways pointing arrow, and he has 1500 attack. He needs 2 Earth Machine monsters, so he's fairly generic. And it says if this card's Link summoned, you can add 1 Ancient Gear monster or Gear Town from your deck to your hand. You can target 1 spell or trap you control and 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy that card you control, and if you do, change that opponent's monster's attack and defense to 0 until the end of this turn. You can only use this effect of Ancient Gear Ballista once per turn. So, really cool card, really helps out Ancient Gears in a lot of ways, specifically searching Gear Town. So, focus please. There we go. So, definitely a cool card to have. Moving into the fusions, we have 3 Ancient Gear Howitzer. This is the card that does 1000 burn and is unaffected by card effects, and if it dies in battle, you get to special summon an Ancient Gear from your deck, ignoring summoning conditions. Easily the first fusion you go into. Just needs 2 Ancient Gears and is a fantastic card for the deck. After that, we have another card from the Duelist pack, which is Ancient Gear Megaton Golem, which has 3300 attack and 3300 defense. It's kind of a retrain of the old Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem. And it says it needs 3 Ancient Gear monsters, and if it attacks, your opponent can't activate spell or trap cards until the end of the damage step, which is like normal Ancient Gear stuff. If this card was fusion summoned using 2 or more Ancient Gear Golem and or Ultimate Pounds as a material, it can attack up to that many times during each battle phase. This face-up fusion summon card and its opponent's control leaves the field because of opponent's card effect. You can special summon 1 Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem from your extra deck, ignoring conditions. So that's really cool. So we also play 1 Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, which just has piercing. Your opponent can activate spell or traps, and then when it dies, you can special summon a regular a regular Ancient Gear Golem from your graveyard, ignoring summoning conditions. And this has 44-34, so this thing's pretty big. Some people play limit removal in their decks. I was actually playing limit removal for a while just because this deck can spit out some pretty big stuff. So you can do that. And the last card we play is 2 Ancient Gear Chaos Giant. If you don't know what Chaos Giant does, it is a monster with piercing. Your opponent can't activate monster effects in the battle phase. It's unaffected by spell or trap cards, and it can attack every monster your opponent controls once each. It is a big boy, and it has 4500 attack. It is a game ender in a lot of situations. So yeah, Ancient Gear Giant. This won me a lot of games back in high school. This was a really fun card. And then we also have some Xyz monsters. Abyss Dweller, because we can make it. Dugaries, because it gets stuff back out of the graveyard. Malevolent Sin, because I've been playing Malevolent Sin in this deck's extra deck for a really long time. And 1 Underclock Taker. And I know this isn't 15. This is like, so we got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 12. Other 3 cards, play whatever you want. More Xyz monsters, like a rank 8. You can play Dingirsu if you really want to. You could play, potentially you could play VFD, because I believe Catapult doesn't have a level restriction on the Ancient Gear monster it summons. So you could summon off of Gear Town and Ancient Gear Catapult 2 Reactor Dragons and make VFD. So if you want to do that, you can. But yeah, that's it. That's really it for the Ancient Gear deck. This deck is really fun. It's one of those decks that, like I said, it did a lot of damage in high school when the structure deck came out and we were getting the fusion monsters and all that good stuff. And I took it to locals a few times back when I was first starting, but this is one of those decks that definitely has, it needs a little more something. It needs some outside support, such as if you want to play a better version, you can play and you don't mind spending the money, you can play Urgent Schedules. Whoa, oh my god. I'm just knocking this camera all around, oh my gosh. But yeah, you can play Urgent Schedules, you can play the Infinite Track monsters, you can play the Train to make this deck go faster, to get to the Link monster faster, and that's kind of where the deck moved. So you can do whatever you want with it. This is just the way I like to keep my Ancient Gear deck pure, because it reminds me of back when I was in high school. So let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. I'd love to hear your suggestions and whatnot for this deck, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.